High-speed police pursuits. A dark fear no driver wants to be ensnared in. It's coming up from the rear. A dangerous, recklessly driving, fleeing felon is about to climax in a head-on collision with innocent freeway travelers, inflicting permanent life-changing injuries, disfigurement, and death on an unsuspecting family. The survivors' lives will be changed forever. But it doesn't have to be that way. The government is sitting on technology that can safely shut down these situations instantly, at the source, without accident or injury. Think about it. It's a Tuesday afternoon, and you are driving home from work, minding your own business, completely lost in thought about your family, your job, and the upcoming weekend. You have no idea that less than a mile away, a fleeing felon or reckless driver is barreling down your lane at 100 miles per hour, refusing to stop for the cops, turning a public highway into a high-velocity kinetic weapon. You may be only seconds away from an absolute, catastrophic, life-altering nightmare because of a fool behind the wheel. Modernly, there are scientifically proven tools that can bring these reckless individuals to a complete standstill. But currently, they may be locked away due to privacy concerns and complex legal hurdles. The question is whether our current laws are outdated. Must they be changed to allow law enforcement to deploy tools that will harmlessly slow these vehicles to a stop and help apprehend the drivers? We will discuss this technology in detail.
Team 12's Bianca Bono shows us the play-by-play on the chase and the high-tech tool that helped bring it to an end.
Sky 12 capturing the car chase on Friday afternoon.
Just ran a vehicle off the lane.
The driver weaving his way into the valley, cutting off traffic on the busy freeway. Police dispatch audio shows that's when they turned to technology inside the car.
OnStar sending the signal.
Audio from the chase giving a behind-the-scenes look at the communication between law enforcement and OnStar. Because the car is reported stolen, OnStar able to remotely slow it down.
OnStar is advising it's not working. They're still trying to slow it down.
Seconds later,
Vehicle is slowing down.
the car safely coming to a complete stop, allowing DPS to move in, taking the driver into custody. Fortunately, there are no injuries to troopers or innocent drivers. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
When a criminal suspect or a dangerous culprit decides to drop their foot on the gas, the state initiates a high-speed pursuit. The traditional tools the state relies on are fundamentally primitive, and they are failing daily, not just in tight construction zones, but out in wide open spaces. Let's dismantle the illusion. The pit maneuver, forcing a vehicle to spin by striking its rear quarter panel, is taught as a precision tactic. But in the real world, forcing a 2-ton moving vehicle to lose traction at 90 miles per hour means you are releasing total control. If an officer's execution falls victim to target fixation or applies the maneuver in a tight space, it ricochets off concrete walls into workers. In a wide-open plane, it sends the vehicle spinning unpredictably across medians straight into oncoming traffic, crashing into the exact citizens the state is sworn to protect. Spike strips are no better. They require an officer to physically stand on an exposed shoulder, gambling their life on a suspect's chaotic steering decisions. And when they do work, they don't stop the vehicle. They cause a slow deflation. The suspect continues fleeing on bare metal rims, throwing a violent shower of sparks down the pavement, completely stripped of steering authority, turning a predictable flight into a wild lottery of violence for everyone on the road. Look at the chaos playing out on Interstate 95. You are watching a fleeing sedan fishtail through loose gravel, threading the needle right between heavy earth movers and concrete walls. Inside an active construction zone like this, the danger scales exponentially because you don't have wide shoulders or grassy runoff areas to rely on. Welcome to the Four Eyes of Law. I am Larry J. Brookens, a California trial attorney with over 25 years of litigation experience in both the state and federal court systems. Looking at these restricted funnels through a legal lens reveals a terrifying reality. You have uncompacted dirt, temporary water lines, and exposed labor crews protected by nothing more than a plastic vest. When a suspect decides to turn a single-lane funnel into an improvised escape route, they aren't just running from a traffic violation. They are introducing extreme, unpredictable forces into a restricted workspace. Every single worker on that site and every driver caught in the bottleneck is entirely exposed to an immediate catastrophe. The state is forced to react instantly, but their legacy playbook is completely locked out. If you pit here, people die. If you drop spikes here, you trap your own units. Let's move on. And if this video has told you something, tap the bell and hit the subscribe button. Right now, today, the government has civilian technology to bring a speeding car to a perfectly smooth, controlled, rolling stop. It already exists. The equipment can wirelessly and remotely lock on to a fleeing vehicle, cut its power, and safely guide it to the shoulder of the road without a single dent, squeal of the tires, or a single drop of spilled blood. Yet, the government rarely uses it, leaving everyday drivers entirely exposed to catastrophic injury and death. Let's break down how this works.
It's clear this crisis isn't going away, and it needs a solution as big as the problem itself.
One technology that could help. Another is OnStar, which works with law enforcement through its Stolen Vehicle Assistance Program.
Since 2009, OnStar has been able to slow vehicles down that have been confirmed stolen.
OnStar Sherry Levesque says it averages slowing down 30 to 40 stolen cars a month for most states, but those numbers are higher in states with big cities like Chicago. OnStar says it slows an average of 70 stolen cars a month in Illinois.
When conditions are appropriate and, of course, when requested by law enforcement only.
Modern vehicles are essentially rolling computers connected to GPS satellites and cellular networks. When a car is reported stolen or a driver flees, a dispatcher or a corporate advisor can transmit a microscopic digital command directly to the vehicle's internal engine computer. Instantly, the system overrides the driver's gas pedal. It doesn't lock up the brakes or cause a wild skid. Instead, it slowly chokes off the fuel injection and smoothly drops the car's maximum speed down to a gentle 3 miles per hour. The criminal can floor the gas pedal all they want, but the computer completely ignores them, keeping the steering and braking fully functional so the vehicle can be safely rolled into a parking lot or onto a highway shoulder, and in the near future, the nearest police station lot. So, why isn't law enforcement using it? In part, it's because of the law and its constitutional underpinnings. To understand this, we must step out of state courts and into the federal courtroom. We must look at how constitutional law views a high-speed stop. Under the U.S. Fourth Amendment, when law enforcement uses physical force to terminate a driver's freedom of movement, that action is legally defined as a physical seizure. The first tool capable of this amazing feat is through the use of remote satellite technology, relying on corporate telematics systems like GM's OnStar Stolen Vehicle Slowdown to step in, flip a digital switch, and bring a fleeing engine to its knees. On paper, it sounds like the perfect, bloodless solution. No collisions, no tire shredding, no mechanical violence. But we have to look at the darker side of this ledger. To have the capability to stop a vehicle remotely means the infrastructure for permanent corporate and state surveillance must remain active every single second you drive. Consider what this requires. It could mean that a corporate entity maintains real-time telemetry, recording your exact geolocation, speed, and interior status every 3 seconds throughout the day. Legal advocates argue that continuous, real-time monitoring of a citizen's movements strikes at the very heart of the Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution. Under the landmark Supreme Court ruling in Carpenter v. United States, decided in 2018, the High Court established that individuals retain a deeply protected reasonable expectation of privacy in the whole of their physical movements. Giving the state or a corporate proxy an open backdoor to track your physical location every 3 seconds maps out the private intimacies of your life, creating a continuous, warrantless search that the Constitution was fundamentally built to block. But does the benefit of this technology outweigh its dangers or potential misuse? It forces the pursuit to a controlled, predictable stop. It protects the suspect from a catastrophic rollover. It protects the trailing officers from an unpredictable crash. And it completely insulates the surrounding public. Let's talk about the next system option. It is a highly engineered form of mechanical restraint known as the grappler. This is a tool that requires zero corporate tracking, zero data mining, and zero high-speed spinning. It simply grabs hold and locks a runner down. The technology to end pursuits mechanically, cleanly, and without constitutional compromise exists right now, meaning it is time for law enforcement agencies nationwide to drop the legacy playbook, step into the modern era, and deploy the tether. Look at the physics of how it works. Invented by a roofer who realized the state was using dangerously outdated methods, this device completely rewrites the mechanics of the stop. It doesn't strike the vehicle to induce a wild, unpredictable spin. Instead, it drops a high-tensile nylon web directly under the rear wheel, using the vehicle's own rotational force to wrap the net entirely around the tire and brake assembly. Within seconds, that tire is completely bound, and a high-strength steel tether locks the suspect vessel directly to the police cruiser's front axle, ending the pursuit right then and there. The suspect's ability to accelerate is gone instantly. More importantly, because the vehicle is tethered in a straight line, it cannot fishtail, it cannot cross the median into oncoming traffic, and it cannot veer off into a crew of vulnerable construction workers. We are rapidly approaching our 1,000-member milestone. If you value objective legal analysis and accountability, please tap the subscribe button and join the Four Eyes of Law. Drop a hammer on that subscribe button right now. Now check out this next video.